There, that looks okay. I got 2 people here and a thumbs up already. Thanks, guys. How's everybody doing tonight? Good to see everyone. Good evening. Hope everybody is doing good, having a good weekend, staying safe, being healthy, watching the Lions win. How you like that? Go Lions. They're heading for the Super Bowl. I see it coming. That's the writing on the wall. Lions are going to the big show. I got my tea here. I'm working with my tea. Hey, Steve, what's up with you, man? I'm in a good mood now. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing fine. Patrick, good to see you, man. Chris Olson, thanks for the thumbs up. Patrick, you also, thanks for the thumbs up. Hope everybody's doing... Yeah, like I said, I'm in a good mood. I don't know why it's because the Lions won or maybe I got a good night's... I have no idea. But I know I shouldn't be in a good mood because... Hey, Sean. Matt, Michigan Adventures, what's up? Yeah, I should be in a bad mood because my boat is now sitting on a trailer out of the water and I'm not fishing anymore on the big lake this year. So, yeah, shed a tear for that. But yeah, man, that's a rough... Anybody else feel that way when you take the boat out? Dakota Joe, what's up? Hey, Josh, Rob, man, everybody's pouring in here. Yeah, does anybody else feel that way at the end of the year? Little nostalgia, little Jason, Alaska. Jason Rivers from Alaska. Good to see you, buddy. How was it out in Alaska? Yeah, but anybody else feel that way? The boat comes out, and I'm looking at it. I'm not crying. I'm really not. I got an itch in my eye. Everybody else look at it, sit there on the trailer, and man, just think, man, that season goes by so fast. And yeah, Jeff, I know deer hunting's going on. Jeff Spear, I know. I'm the same way. It's something to look forward to, but boy. Something about taking that boat out at the end of the year. Just, I'm already looking forward to next year. This year I had so much fun. You know, my first year chartering on my own. Just had such a blast out there, meeting new people. You know, getting the business going, being out there and just going out there and doing it. What a fun year it was for me. Had just a really good year. The King showed up late, but that's fine. We still ended up putting a ton of nice fish in the boat. Had 3 fish over 30 pounds this year, which is fantastic. Love seeing the smiles on people's faces. And yeah, I mean, it's just a really fun year for me. But I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure there's a lot of guys and gals out there that had a really good year. Yeah, anyway, cheers to everybody. I got my moo cup going on. Oh, what do I got in there tonight? I got green tea, turmeric green tea. I have no idea. Tastes interesting. Anyway, yeah, the boat's out of the water. A little sad for that, but yeah, the Lions won today. Tom Brady, probably not the Tom Brady, but caught my first 30-pounder this year. Congratulations, Tom. I don't think you're playing against the Packers right now. I don't think it's the same guy, but congratulations on your first 30-pounder, my man. It's a good feeling to see those things hit the deck. You know, on my own, I've never reeled in a 30-pounder. In 20-some years of out there fishing, I have never caught my own 30-pounder. I've been on the boat as a first mate and now as a captain, seeing plenty of other 30-pounders hit the deck, but I've never reeled one in myself. My best one ever was like 29 and change. Maybe someday I will, maybe I won't. But that's, honestly, that's half the fun for me of going out there and chartering and just taking other people out there. I love seeing those big fish hit the deck, especially for one person on the boat this year. It was the first salmon that they had ever caught, and it was over 30 pounds. So that was fun. Believe you lost a couple? Yeah, you'll never know, will you? Yeah, but you can always speculate that the ones that you lost were 30-plus pounders. Jason Rivers, a 70-pound halibut this year. Yeah, Chris Olson, first 30-pound plus to go on the wall. Yeah, no doubt. I've always had, like, numbers in my mind. Like, if I get a fish that's so many pounds, it's going on the wall. And I've already broken my own rule a couple times because I always said anything over 12.5 pounds for a walleye, I'm putting it on the wall. And I've caught a couple over 13 and one over 14, and I didn't put those up there. But my numbers for the big lake, steelhead, anything over 18 pounds is going on my wall. Then I said anything over 30 pounds for a king is going on my wall. Anything over, I forget what the lake trout was, probably mid-20s, because I see plenty of 20-pounders roll through. And then brown trout, anything over 15 was going on my wall. And I don't have a brown trout that big. Although I did catch a brown trout the other day, which was nice. First one I'd caught all year. Real scarce this year. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Go Lions. They're going to the Super Bowl. I'm convinced. Best team ever. I'm completely sold on them again until next week when they blow it. And then I'll hate them again. But this at least this week I'm loving them. They was it Jason Rivers out there in Alaska? So what's post down there? What's the common size salmon that you guys get out there in Alaska? I know they're big. I know you guys get some monster kings out there, but I would love to know, and I'm sure there's others on here that would love to know what's your average size out there in Alaska, because I've always toyed with the idea of going out there and doing some fishing. Anyway, if you could post that on there, I'd appreciate it. All right, I hope we're not lagging or anything because I'm not seeing any comments roll through. All right, there's a comment. Cool. All right, so let's talk about the fishing report. Jason, 25 to 30 pound kings. That's your average? You know that. What I guess what's your for here in Michigan? Anything 30 and up is considered trophy. What's considered a trophy out there in Alaska? I'd like to know that. Yeah, Jeff, Paul Schlafly does a great job on taxidermy. Paul's a great friend of mine. He's a heck of a good fisherman. In my opinion, probably the best fisherman at this port, maybe any port on the Great Lakes. I mean, I don't want to disrespect anyone. There's a lot of great captains out there, but Paul is certainly one of them. But yeah, he also does really nice taxidermy. RiversideCharters.com if you guys are ever looking for taxidermy. Paul does a nice job. State record 97 pounds. That's insane. That's crazy. Wow, 97-pound king. I don't know what our state record is. I want to, just on a whim, I want to say upper 40s, but I don't know if that's right or not. Anyway, let's talk about the fishing report. We're 7 minutes in, and I haven't even talked about it yet, so I'm sure some people are fuming, but that's okay. We'll get to it eventually. So fishing report, obviously the Big Lake, there's hardly a boat out there right now, which is unfortunate because the steelhead are starting to come in right now. Steelhead are starting to roll in. They're starting to show up at the pier heads. They're starting to show up in the rivers in pretty good numbers. So if you can still get out there on the Big Lake and you want to go out there steelhead fishing, and I tell you what, right now, just working the shelf and the bank, even as close in as 30 to 40 feet, you can find steelhead right now. Just good, bright orange spoons, green orange spoons, anything real flashy. Bump your speeds up a little bit. If you can get out there and you want to chase steelhead right now, it's a good time to do it. And you might pick up a bonus fish or two. I did get a couple juvenile coho the other day. Like I said, a brown trout. Lake trout will come in shallow again this time of the year as the water cools down. The lake trout will come in also to chase bait. So if you can still get out there and you want to, God, be careful though. The weather is so sketchy right now. Be careful, but if you can get out there, if your boat's not pulled out yet, you can still get out there and catch a nice fish. So, coupling with that, talking about steelheads, like I said, pier heads are doing good on the chucking spoons off the pier heads. Steelheads are starting to be caught there in the river, also floating spawn, yarn, and thunder sticks, rapalas, Hottentots, you name it. A good body bait in the rivers right now are also working well for steelhead, which is good. I like to see those steelheads show up. That's a fun fish to chase, and I like to see, when they start coming in at this time of the year. I hate it when it's this late because I don't get a chance to chase them out in the Big Lake, but definitely I still like seeing them come into the rivers. So I'm sorry, I was reading a comment there. All right, so inland lakes. Perch fishing, still not so good on Portage Lake, Manistee Lake, Hamlin Lake. I'm still hearing just off reports on perch fishing, bluegill fishing. Even walleye fishing has not been cranking up yet. And this time of the year, you can really get some nice walleye in the inland lakes. I think I've said it on here before, and one of the things I love to do on Portage Lake, which is here in Onekama, I work up on those shallows on the south shore and up on the north shore. I work up into the shallows. I'll run the boat about 12 feet, and I'll run 3 boards out per side. And I just put, big husky jerks or regular floating rapalas on there. Gold and silver are always my best colors. But that, what is that one called? The ghost, like a silver ghost. That can be really good as well. I run those off the boards, just flatline them, no inline weights, no snap weights, no nothing. Let them do their work out there on their own. and I keep my speed down to like 1.8 to 1.9, maybe 2, and just work those shallows. And you'll get weeds, of course, and you'll get pike on there occasionally, but there's nice walleye to be caught this time of the year. I picked up some real nice walleye over the years just doing that little technique right there. So if you're looking for walleye, this is a great time to do it, and that's a great way to do it. You can also go out there and you can vertical jig them if you want to work it that way, but I found here, and this is just my opinion, the best way I found around here is just to slow troll them with those big body baits. You know, number 9s, the bigger ones, the bigger body baits. They seem to like those a little bit better. So anyway, what else I want to talk about? Fishing around. There's something else I wanted to say. It's eluding me right now. Well, I'll remember it later on. But there's really not much more to talk about in the fishing right now. You know, obviously we're in the transition right now from summer to fall. Well, we're deep into fall, of course. The water's cooling off. So we got to start looking at, you know, changing our presentations up, changing our speeds. I like minimizing in this fall, you know, for some species, something like walleye, I like bumping it up in size. Speed changes, it's just little things will put more fish in the boat for you. Anyway, that's really the fishing report in a nutshell. I'm still going to do these every Sunday at 7 o'clock. Even if I don't have much to talk about, I'm still going to come on here and bore everybody. If you want to watch and listen, I'm happy to do that. But if you noticed, I also in the title put, I put live fishing and rut report or bow hunting report. Bow hunting report. So I think this time of the year I think it's a good idea also to bring on a bow hunting report, maybe a rut report, talk about what I'm seeing out there in the field for bow hunting, what the bucks are doing. And I think a lot of people have talked about in the past something that they would enjoy. So let's talk about the rut report a little bit. This is what I'm seeing around here. We got some really nice early activity for rutting bucks, and I think it's going to be an early rut this year, and for a few reasons. One is the onset of the colder weather. We're a little early for the temperatures that we're getting. It's getting colder quicker. That's going to bring that on, and I think we have more bucks out there right now due to some of the restrictions that we have in our counties, and that can incorporate more rut type behavior, more aggressive behavior. More competition between those bucks. I think those two things coupled together is going to bring on an early rut. And what I'm seeing out in the field right now, I'm seeing some really nice scrapes, and they're actively being tended too. They're not just being hit once and walked away. You can tell those old scrapes. You know, the one that they got hit one time, and it dried up, and it hasn't been touched in days. The scrapes I'm seeing out there are being actively tended, at least a few of them. You know, those are the ones you want to look for. If you see a scrape, a real nice scrape under a nice licking branch, you go, oh man, that thing is beautiful. Take a good look at it though, and try to gauge how old that thing is. If the ground's really dried up, if it's not pawed up fresh, you know, if it looks like it hasn't been tended in a few days, there's a good chance that they're not working that scrape anymore for whatever reason. Maybe that buck moved on, maybe another buck came into the territory and bumped that one off. Look for those actively tended scrapes. Those are the ones you don't have to put the drippers on. You know, everybody, there's scent drippers out there that you can hang over scrapes to put, say, scrape juice in there or whatever product you like to use. You don't need to use drippers on those things. You just need to hunt them. And those are the ones that you can actually take some of that dirt. Be careful around scrapes, though. I've seen guys on, hunting shows drive me nuts sometimes. I watch guys walk out there, and they'll grab the licking branch and they'll move it around, and they'll step on the scrape, or they'll feel the scrape, or they'll see buck rubs and they'll put their hands on it and rub the tree and say, oh man, I just want to pull what little bit of hair I got left out. Man, leave those things alone. Don't interfere with them. Let nature just be nature. And again, this is just my opinion, but just let nature be nature. Don't mess with them. Let the deer do what they do naturally. You don't need to incorporate extra smells into them. You don't need to put drippers on them. You don't really need to put a whole bunch more out there. You find a good active area, you just need to be there. Just put your time and your dues into a stand. Just be there, and more than often, or there's a good chance you're gonna get paid off on that. But anyway, I'm rambling on here. But yeah, I'm seeing really nice early rut activity, real nice scrapes popping up, fresh rubs almost daily. I'm seeing bucks starting to tend does. You know, they're starting to go on their tails. I'm seeing, when I'm out driving at night, I'm seeing a lot of buck movement after dark into early evening. and that tells me that the bucks are on the move and that they're starting to really trying to get after the active does. So that all tells me that we got a real nice rut coming on here. I would say, we're not into the rut now, but I would say probably within a week to 10 days, we're going to be into the rut. And I think it'll probably last into the first couple of weeks in November, maybe 3 weeks into November, that the gun opener. I think that's just my opinion again, but that's what I'm seeing. Cold weather's nice to have, of course. Those high fronts. Deer really move when the barometer starts climbing into those higher digits. That's when the deer really start moving. At least that's what I've seen over the years. That's when I really like to be out there in the trees. I could be out there right now. I'd rather be here doing this. It would be nice to be in a tree right now. But when that barometer starts climbing up, when that barometer starts moving up and the high pressure's coming in, that seems to really get the deer moving. When the barometer's dropping and we're starting to get rainfall or snowfall, that's when they tend to hunker down. They don't move so much unless something makes them move. Whether it be a hot doe, running activity, hunting pressure, they get spooked, whatever those things. They tend to hunker right down when the barometer comes down. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing on the hunting report right now. I hope that helps some people out. Obviously, I'm up here in northern Michigan, so it's not going to be applicable to everybody else throughout, wherever you are. But for those of us in northern Michigan, lower Michigan, maybe even the UP, I'm sure we're all seeing some of those same things. All right, cool. That's it, guys, gals. That's it. That's all I got. That's the reports. If anybody else wants to talk about anything, I'm happy to do it. You want to talk about how the Lions are going to the Super Bowl? I'm happy to do that. If you want to talk about how much you hate the Lions, I'm happy to do that also. Packers are getting stomped right now. I saw that. Somebody just mentioned a comment on here. Yeah, Packers are just getting stomped, which is unfortunate. I do like the Pack. I do. All right. Cool. Hey, if anybody's looking for a shirt, dark blue charter shirt, I don't have one down. Hold on. No, I don't have one down here right now. I'm selling shirts again. If you go back and look on some of the previous videos, you can see the shirts. They came out really nice. Have I ever fished out of Algoma, Wisconsin? No, I haven't. No, I have not. But yeah, if anybody's looking for a Tangle Tackle fishing on the front, and on the back says Dark Blue Charter is my charter. I do have those for sale. Just email me, christangletackel@gmail.com, and I can tell you how you can pick one up. I've mailed out quite a few already. I've gotten some real nice comments on how much people like them. They fit really well. They got a nice material, and I think the graphics came out really nice on them. But yeah, so anyway, I wanted to throw that back out there. Anyway, we're almost 20 minutes in. I got 50 people. It's funny, man. We're in October. 2 months ago, it was probably 100 more people on here, but we're down to 50. That's cool. No worries, though. If you want to come up and fish the Southeast sometimes, oh, man, Jason, don't tempt me, dude. Don't tempt me with an offer like that, because you never know, I might take you up on it. Thank you, though. I do appreciate it. Hey, anybody out there got a Simpson power washer? How's the online store coming for Tangle Tackle? Excellent, Rob. Coming along very well. The guy that we've hired to, not we, the owner, the guy that the owner has hired has put together some really nice plans. He's laid it out to us in a lot of formats for idiots like us so we can understand it. But it's looking solid. And we're looking towards beginning of the year for a launch. And what I don't want to talk out my you-know-what. I don't want to put things out there that may not come to fruition. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Greg Schmidt. Thank you, man. They are nice shirts. But what they're trying to do right now is incorporate other, how do I want to say this? They want to incorporate other fishing entities, like other corporations, into this website where you can come onto the Tangle Tackle website and you can go, oh, I'm looking for that also. And you can actually order things from other companies through the Tangle Tackle website. Now, guys, gals, I don't know how that works. It's a language that I will never be able to speak, but the way it's been explained to me, it's really interesting and it's really creative, and I think it's cutting edge. But it's going to be a nice place for anybody that's looking for anything, custom gear, custom tackle, all the gear that you need for the big lakes or inland lakes. You're going to be able to come to the Tangle Tackle website, and you should be able to get it all right there. Guys, and like I said, I hope I'm not talking out the old you-know-what, but it's looking really solid right now. Really solid. That was a great question. Thanks for asking that. But yeah, I was going to ask, does anyone out there have a Simpson power washer? And what is your experience with them? Because I got to tell you a story. My old power washer, I've fixed it. I don't know how many times. The thing, it's on its last legs. I'm actually going to give it away. If anybody wants it, just let me know. You can have it. But anyway, I decided to finally go out and buy a new power washer. So I did some research. I did what everybody else probably does. You know, you go online, you look at costs, you look at reviews, and I always say buy nice or buy twice. You know, I don't like buying cheap stuff because you're going to buy something else 2 years down the road. So Simpson had a lot of nice reviews, had a lot of nice word of mouth people talking about them, and I like to shop local, so I went to my local farm store and I picked up a brand new Simpson power washer. Really nice unit on a motor, nice PSI, you know, high PSI. Took it home, fired it up, and immediately knew something was wrong. The whole thing was shaking. It was shooting water out one of the fittings. I depressed the wand. It would shoot water. As soon as I'd let the wand go or let the trigger go, the engine would stall right out. So, great. You know, every now and then you get a lemon. So I went and I called Simpson. I thought, you know what, I could work on this thing myself, or I can call Simpson, let the warranty do the job. Because if I work on it and I break something, there goes the warranty. So I called Simpson, and I live in a rural area, and Simpson said, you know, where do you live? How far away are you from Traverse City, Ludington, things like that? And they figured out that I'm just too far. I told them I'm too far. I'm an hour and a half from a big city to drive that thing all the way up there. Can you find me something local? So yeah, we can do that. And real good customer service, I'll say that. Real good. But 4 weeks, what was it? Yeah, it's 4 weeks goes by. No call. No call. I'm waiting. I got a reference number. I'm thinking about calling them. And the day before I told myself, if they don't call by this Tuesday, I'm gonna call them. Finally, the day before I was gonna call, they called me. They asked me, have you heard from anybody yet? And I said, no, you're the first one. And they said, okay, we'll call you back. 2 or 3 more days go by. I get another phone call. Okay, we found you a service place in your hometown. Can you take it there? Sure, of course I can. Take it to the guy. It ended up being a guy that I knew, a trustworthy guy. He broke that thing all down. And as it stands right now, it needs a brand new pump. There was no grease inside the pump. It needed a new overpressure switch. Or I know that's not the right word for it, but I can't think of it right now. And there was something else. I mean, basically, it's going to be more than 50% brand new by the time he puts this thing all the way back together. And Simpson was good. They warrantied everything. All the parts are, of course, coming from Simpson, no cost. But then he told me, he alluded to the fact that they might not cover relief valve. Yeah. He alluded to the fact that they might not cover labor. I thought, that's not going to fly. This is a brand new pressure washer that has less than 10 minutes of runtime on it. There's no way that I'm paying for labor. So I talked with my guy. He talked with Simpson again, and it turned out that they're going to cover everything. So thumbs up to Simpson for at least... hey, Ken, how you doing, bud? Thumbs up to Simpson for at least backing their product. But man, oh man, every now and then you just get a lemon like that. I could not believe that. The pump, bad. The relief valve, bad. And there was something else that I cannot remember what it was also bad. This is on a brand new, out-of-the-box machine. Nothing against Simpson. Again, most of everything I see on their sites are highly rated in quality. Man, I just got a bad one. Anyway, drive you nuts. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that experience out there. All right. Anybody else have any? What everybody else? Simpson power washers, good, bad, otherwise? Interested to see what everybody else has to say about them. Anyway, we're 24 minutes in, almost 25. 53 people here. The comments are slowing down. I'm happy to get out of here. I'll go watch the tail of the Packers game if it's not over already. It's got to be pretty close to being over. But I'll jump out. I'll be back on here next. Oh, the pro fishing tip of the week. That's what it was. I wanted to start doing that every week. And I couldn't do it last week because I was on a cruise, but this week. So this was recommended to me. 2 minutes left in the game. Thanks, Tom Brady. You would know. How you doing out there? You still winning? What's the best downrigger cable? You're just talking about steel downrigger cable, Mike? If you are, I go with Big John. I order everything from Big John. Their cable's always been the best for me. But yeah, I wanted to start doing this every week. The pro fishing tip of the, or the fishing tip of the week, whatever you want to call it, because I have a hard time calling myself the pro fishing guy. I don't like that title. But we'll call it whatever you want. We'll call it the fishing tip of the week or whatever I come up with. This was an idea given to me by one of the viewers. And I think it's a good idea. So I also reached out in one video, said, hey, give me your fishing tips, because I'm sure that my empty mind is going to run out of ideas quickly. So whatever a viewer wants to send in as their pro fishing tip of the week, I will happily put that on one of the live fishing reports for you. I can credit you by name if you want. If you want to be anonymous, I can also do it anonymously. But I would love to have some input from everybody out there to pass on to everybody else out there. And I did get some tips from some guys and gals over email. Send me whatever you want, christangletackle@gmail.com. I would love to have your input. But anyway, here's my pro fishing tip of the week. Check your mono leaders every morning and evening before you go out. I don't know how many fish have been lost over the years by a nick in a line, a fray in a line, a poor knot, whatever it may be, a crimped swivel. Check your leaders and check your swivels and your knots every morning and afternoon before you go out fishing. Every time I go out, I will take my lead core and my copper leaders and my downrigger line. I like to just wet my fingers, either wet it by tongue or stick it in some water, and I'll run it down that mono every time. If you do it dry, you'll still feel them, but I have found just by wetting your fingers and running it down that mono, you will feel all the little nicks and frays. If you feel one little nick or fray, cut it, tie your swivel back on there. If it's too short, retie the entire leader and move on. I've seen way too many fish that have been lost over the years by a frayed or a nicked. It might be the tiniest little thing that you can imagine too, but a fish will bust you off on that thing almost every time. So that is my pro fishing tip of the week. Wet your fingers, check your leaders every time. And I always check the last, or the 10 feet from my swivel on my downrigger rods. I always check that also. Thanks, Mike. Michael Cudo. I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's a tip that I learned years and years and years ago from another charter guy, and I'm sure it has saved me some fish over the year. I was fishing the first mate on a charter. This is just last year, and this guy's a great fisherman. He's a funny guy too, and he had a pig on. I think it was a 300 copper, and it was on there for maybe all of 2 or 3 minutes, and pop, the line broke, and we reeled it in, and you could see where that monofilament had busted. There was probably a nick in there, and he just deadpans. He goes, "That's why you check them," and I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. So anyway, that's the tip of the week. Send me your tips, and they can be something is that simple, that quick, that easy, and man, send those to me. I'm happy to put them out there. Brian Lane, absolutely. And like I said, check your knots. Check your knots, because they can come loose as well. All right. That's it. Pro fishing tip of the week. We're almost a half hour into this thing. Let's get out of here. Let's go enjoy whatever little bit of football's left or dinner with the family. Get out there bow hunting. Be safe. Wear your harness if you're in a tree. Please, please, please wear your... I've seen too many bad things happen and heard about too many bad things happen from bow hunters and hunters in general that do not wear harnesses in their tree. Your life is worth a couple $100. I will loan you a couple $100 if you need it to buy a harness. That's not valid, but you know what I'm saying. Wear your harness, please. We've all had those close calls. So anyway, be safe. Take care. I will see everybody here next Sunday at 1 minute left, 38-10, Packers lost. Yeah, probably. All right. See you guys next week, next Sunday. Take care, everyone.